Alright guys, we are back in the hot tub tonight, shooting another video on location. Alright, let's turn this around here. Good evening everybody. It is Thursday night. I'm out on the deck in the hot tub. Thought I'd shoot another video from here because I got a couple things to talk about. By the way, if the angle of the camera is a little weird, it's because I can't actually see it from here, because the only way I can get good lighting is if I turn my camera, my phone, the other way. So I can't see the screen right now, so I can't be sure how good it looks, but we're gonna make do with whatever it comes out with. So I'm gonna try to get some kind of lamp or lighting over here, so when I use it at night I can see, but for now this will have to do. So I decided I wanted to go ahead and make a video tonight, and I thought I'd do it from here because the Seahawks have done a couple things over the last couple days. They've made the news. They've done some things that are relevant, that are important in defining the future of this franchise, and I want to talk about it. And we've talked about it quite a bit in the streams the last couple days. If you guys have been in the streams, you know we've talked about this a little bit, but 2 days ago, well, actually yesterday, I heard that the Seahawks had made a free agency offer to DeVonta Freeman, formerly the Atlanta Falcon running back. He was on the Falcons team that went to the Super Bowl. He had a couple 1,000-yard seasons. He made a couple Pro Bowls. 28 years old. I heard that supposedly we offered him 1 year, $4 million. And he turned it down because he wants more money. So when I heard this, I had a few thoughts. My first thought was, why are we offering $4 million to a running back that we really don't need that much? Two, why is it DeVonta Freeman, who has not been good in 2 years? He's had 2 straight seasons where he has not looked impressive or just plain hasn't played. And 3, thank God he wanted more money, because I would have been very annoyed if we had given $4 million to him. So a lot of initial thoughts there. But what I heard is he wants more like $5.5 million. And I'm assuming that we're just not going to get him, because I don't think we can rise up to $5.5 million. I don't think he's going to come down from $5.5 million. So it seems like we're moving on, which thank God, because you don't want to. The kind of video that I'm going to have to make if we give DeVonta Freeman $5.5 million, it's not going to be pretty. So I was thinking, I was wondering, like, why do we care so much who this running back is going to be? Why do we feel the need to spend a bunch of money on it? We don't need a third running back for more than maybe the first 6 games of the 2020 season, because Carson on track to be ready for week 1, ready to be the featured back again. Penny, we know that Penny is very likely to go on PUP and get back week 7. So we are going to have to deal without having him for a little while. Homer, I like Travis Homer. I think he can play a role in the NFL, but that role might be very limited. It might not be enough. When you need to spell a guy like Carson, we might need a little bit more than that. And DJ Dallas, who I like well enough, he's probably going to redshirt as a rookie. I don't think we can count on him to do anything as a rookie because, quite frankly, he is an inexperienced running back even on the college level. When he was at Miami, he only played running back 1 year. He did not have a lot of experience there, and this offseason is going to be funky. We're not going to have any OTAs probably. Not going to have mini camps, training camps, rookie camps. We might not even have a preseason. I'm still not convinced we're going to have a season, but the off-season is definitely going to be weird. So a guy like DJ Dallas might just not be ready to go for the regular season. So I'm not anticipating anything from DJ this year. So, going into this last stretch of the free agency period, I knew we needed another guy. But to me, it was a situation where we just needed to find some veteran who would play for the vet minimum and be okay with like 4 to 5 carries a game for 6 weeks, and then he might be done. He might be out of here, because assuming Carson shows that he's still got it, when Penny gets back, there's just not going to be room for that. We need to find out what Penny is. We need to see what Carson can be in his prove-it year. We kind of need to figure out what we have with Travis Homer. So, my thinking was we need to go find somebody willing to play for the vet minimum, like when we got Fred Jackson all those years ago. What was that? 2015, 2016, we got Fred Jackson. Somebody like that. And I'm happy it seems like the team has moved on. And apparently we're trying to get Carlos Hyde, who supposedly only wants about $2 million. And Carlos Hyde is a guy who actually was good last year. He had 1,000 yards for Houston, played pretty well. And you can get him for more than the vet minimum, but he's a good player. So hopefully that ends up being what happens, because I would give $2 million to Carlos Hyde and not feel too bad about it, even if we don't use him that much. He's good security. If something were to happen to Carson and / or Penny, Hyde is a guy who can be your featured back for a little bit. You can give him 15, 20 carries a game, and he'll do pretty good, it looks like. Seems like he has something left. But I still couldn't quite get off the whole thing about how we offered Freeman $4 million, a guy who has not been good in 2 years, and a guy who seems to be, well, a team, a roster that doesn't seem like they need a running back that badly. And as I thought about it, I was like, well, what does this tell us about Carson and Penny? Is Carson actually more injured than we think? Is Carson not going to be ready to go for this season? Do we have doubts about his ability to play effectively? Is that hip injury possibly something that could cripple him this season? Is Penny maybe not going to make it back this season at all? He did have a pretty serious injury last year late. So what if we just feel like Penny's not going to be there for us at all this year? And it kind of made sense, because both those guys have gotten injured quite a bit so far in the NFL. They've both had injury problems. Carson's broken his leg, broken his hip. I think he broke his hip. He's had other injuries. Penny has had multiple injuries so far in his Seahawks career, and now he's had the big one. So it got me really concerned that maybe the team is thinking something about those guys that we as fans can't really know about yet. So, I mean, either way, giving Carlos Hyde $2 million can't be a bad thing. So if we do that, I'm for it. My ideal would be to find some middle of the road forgettable veteran, like I don't know, Isaiah Crowell, or like a Frank Gore or somebody like that, somebody who's just going to get 5 carries a game for a little bit, and that's it, and you just pay him the vet min, and that's all it is. But I'm starting to be concerned that the team feels like that's not enough for us, because, you know, my first reaction to this news was to be annoyed. Like, why do we care so much about our running backs? Are we going to run the ball 60 times a game again this year? Are we trying to bring in a bunch of running backs because we want to be run again? Are we going to make Wilson throw the ball 14 times a game? Why do we consider running back to be such a priority with what we already have? But then I got thinking about something maybe even worse. Carson in his prove-it contract year possibly not being ready to go, Penny possibly not being ready to go, and suddenly we're kind of hung out to dry at running back. So over the next few days, or actually few months, if I start hearing bad things about Carson's rehab or Penny's rehab, I'm not going to be shocked, but I'm going to be concerned about this season for sure. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. That's what I'm concerned about. Hope we get Carlos Hyde. If not, I'm perfectly happy with getting some veteran minimum contract dude who's been in the league a few years and just wants to play. But even though this is all I have to go on, I can't help but be a little concerned that the problem at running back might run a little deeper than the team has let on so far. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this night in here. Everybody have a good night. Go Hawks. And catch me in the stream tomorrow if you want to. But those are my thoughts right now. Peace.